I'm established. 100 carats, I'm a name, run the Atlas. I'm a natural, I'm a
Okay guys, so this is just a look at the wig I'm going to be styling in today's video. As you guys can see, coming straight out the box is super curly and super wavy, really pretty. So this unit is from China Hair Mall. It's one of their glueless full lace wigs. The style of this unit is Peruvian body wave. Mine is 24 inches with a 150% density. So first I'm just starting out by parting this wig further back than the original part comes. So I'm just taking my tweezers here and I'm just plucking out some of the hair from the part. As you guys can see, you can still see the knots pretty clearly, but I will go back and bleach the knots later on after I finish plucking this unit. So once I get the part kind of as wide as I want it to be, I move to the front of the unit near the hairline and I just part a small section out, pin the rest of the hair back, and then I start plucking from this area. Since this is a 150% density unit, it is super full and it's really full near the hairline as well, which if you want your wig to look more realistic, then thinning out the front is the way to go, because it's going to help it lay flush against your scalp when you're placing your wig or gluing your wig, or however you decide to install it on your head. If you guys are interested in seeing how I pluck the entire wig, then definitely let me know down below and I'll be sure to include the entire process in my next wig video. I just didn't want to include all that footage if you guys already have an idea of how to pluck your units. So I did go ahead and bleach my knots and dye the unit a off black color off camera, but if you guys are interested in seeing how to bleach knots or how to dye your units with a semi-permanent rinse, then I will have the links to those videos down below in my description box. So I went ahead and just put the wig on, and then it has 3 combs in it, so I just clipped in all 3 combs, and then after that I grabbed my Got2b gel and a toothbrush and I just started smoothing down the baby hairs that were already cut into this unit. You can shave them down a little bit, which you guys will see me do a little bit later in this video if they're too long for your liking. And then I went towards the front of the unit and started smoothing those down too. This is not going to be the final look of how the baby hairs are, but I'm just getting them smoothed down for the time being so I can kind of go ahead and tame them, throw on my scarf, and move on to curling this unit. Okay, so after that, I just started sectioning off my hair, grabbed my wand curler, wrapped the hair around the barrel, held it for about 15 seconds, and then released it. And the way that I curled it, I did 2 curls at a time and put them on one flexi rod, if that makes sense. That helped to speed up the process so I wouldn't have to flexi rod every single section, but it still allowed these curls to hold their form. So still doing the 2 section and 1 flexi rod method, and then I left out that one little piece. I was so pissed. So anyway, after I took out my flexi rods, I let them sit for about 15 minutes or so. The hair was still actually pretty hot or pretty warm when I took the flexi rods down, so I kind of just fluffed out my hair and then took my scarf off. And as you guys can see, it doesn't look very realistic yet, but I always do that just to set the baby hairs kind of in place and get them kind of like in the, you know, in the groove of moving how I want them to move. So after that, I went in the front of the unit and sectioned off some of the hair that should have been the baby hair, and I just shaved that down with like an eyebrow shaper. And then I took my Got2b glue and my toothbrush, and then I just kind of swirled these baby hairs back into the hairline to make them look realistic. So once I finished smoothing out the baby hairs, I was pretty much finished with this look. I didn't put my scarf back on to set the baby hair. I just kind of let it do its thing on its own. But this was a pretty simple hairstyle to do, believe it or not. Aside from the plucking, everything went super quick and was super easy.
You must think you saucy.
Who?
You.
This is for the tutorial.
Hey guys.
Why are you trying to be rude?